The Texas Department of Transportation, Houston District, would like to welcome you to the virtual public meeting with in-person option for the proposed Farm to Market 830 Road Improvements Project, from Old Montgomery Road to State Highway 75 in Montgomery County, Texas. This is a pre-recorded presentation. My name is Paul, and I am part of the consultant team working on this project on behalf of TxDOT. I'd like to welcome you and thank you for participating in this public meeting. This is the first public meeting being conducted for the Farm to Market 830, or FM 830, Improvement Project. This presentation is available for viewing starting on Tuesday, May 24th, 2022 at 5 p.m. During the virtual public meeting, you may pause the presentation and navigate forward or backward using your video player. If you experience technical difficulties with the virtual public meeting, please call Tunisia Smith at the TxDOT Houston District Office at 713-802-5560. You may also request special accommodation assistance accessing public meeting information, materials, and language interpretation needs other than English and Spanish. For general questions, contact information will be shown again at the end of this public meeting. If members of the public wish to submit a comment to be part of the official record of this meeting, they may do so in the ways outlined at the end of this presentation. This virtual public meeting is being held in conjunction with an in-person public meeting, which will be held on Thursday, May 26, 2022, from 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at the Robert B. Brabham Middle School cafeteria located at 10,000 FM 830, Willis, Texas, 77318. The information presented in the virtual public meeting and in the in-person public meeting is identical, and the opportunities to comment do not differ. Notices for this public meeting were posted to the TxDOT webpage on April 19, 2022, in both English and Spanish. Elected officials were notified by email on May 3, 2022, and mailed on May 4, 2022. Notices in both English and Spanish were mailed to the surrounding community via every door direct mail between May 9th and 14th, 2022. TxDOT advertised the public meeting on roadside variable message signs along FM 830, beginning May 9th, 2022. Informative flyers were posted on the community boards on May 13, 2022. In addition, links to the meeting notice were posted on the TxDOT Houston District Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages. And finally, notices were also published in the Courier of Montgomery County on Tuesday, May 9, 2022, and the Community Impact Conroe Montgomery newspaper on Friday, May 13, 2022, in English. A notice was published in La Voz de Houston on Tuesday, May 11, 2022, in Spanish. The FM 830 Road Improvements Project is receiving federal funds, and because of the federal component, TxDOT is required to assess the potential environmental effects of the proposed project in accordance with federal standards. The process that is followed is called the National Environmental Policy Act process, otherwise known as NEPA. The NEPA process provides analyses of the potential impacts to the natural and man-made environment and helps the decision maker to make an informed decision on whether or not to proceed with the project. On December 9, 2019, TxDOT received a signed Memorandum of Understanding from the Federal Highway Administration that permits TxDOT to assume responsibility from the Federal Highway Administration for reviewing and approving certain assigned NEPA projects. This review and approval process applies to this project. In this presentation, we'll describe the proposed project and explain the purpose of the public meeting, provide a project overview, explain the proposed project's next steps, and outline the methods for submitting comments. This public meeting is being held to introduce the proposed project, present the alternatives being considered, and gather public input. You're encouraged to submit comments on the proposed project after reviewing the meeting materials and listening to this presentation. The proposed FM 830 road improvements project extends for a total of approximately 2.5 miles along FM 830, from Old Montgomery Road to State Highway 75 in Montgomery County. The project is within the Conroe and Panorama Village city limits. Major traffic generators in the area include 4 public school campuses and new single-family residential developments with scattered commercial uses and undeveloped land. The purpose of the project is to improve mobility and enhance safety for the traveling public. Based on data from TxDOT's Transportation Planning and Programming Division, 2020 traffic volumes in the corridor were around 13,500 vehicles per day. By 2045, traffic volumes in the corridor are anticipated to increase to around 21,400 vehicles per day, which represents a 59% projected growth in the traffic between 2020 and 2045. The additional roadway capacity proposed as part of this project would assist with accommodating this anticipated increase in travel demand and improve mobility within this corridor. One of the goals for the project is to improve safety along the corridor. The project team analyzed crash data along FM 830 for the last 5 years, between 2017 and 2021. Locations of crashes were placed on maps and circles were color-coded where multiple crashes occurred in the same general location. These are called hotspots. The areas in red on the map show crash hotspot locations where a high density of crashes occurred in the corridor during this time frame. Between 2017 and 2021, there were 71 total reported crashes in the corridor. Of these crashes, 42% occurred at intersections, and over half involved rear-end collisions. TxDOT is proposing to install a raised median in place of the current center turn lane in order to reduce the volume of traffic crossing the roadway between major intersections and improve safety in the corridor. The existing FM 830 roadway in the project area is a 2-lane, undivided roadway. It has one 12-foot wide travel lane in each direction, with 8-foot outside shoulders and a 12-foot wide center turn lane for the majority of the project limits. There are no existing pedestrian facilities within project limits. The existing right-of-way along FM 830 is 120 feet wide. The proposed project would add an additional 12-foot travel lane in both directions along FM 830 from Old Montgomery Road to State Highway 75. The continuous center turn lane would be replaced with a raised median, ranging from 6 to 30 feet in width. Left turn and right turn bays would be added at key locations to provide access to the intersecting streets and facilities throughout the project area. The proposed improvements also include a 5-foot wide sidewalk along the south side and a 10-foot wide side path, which is a shared pedestrian facility, along the north side of the FM 830 roadway within the project limits. The proposed project would also convert the existing open ditches into a curb and gutter system. There are 2 proposed alternatives to accommodate the proposed improvements: Alternative A and Alternative B. In some segments of the project, the proposed improvements are the same between both alternatives, and in other segments, the proposed improvements differ between the alternatives. Shown here is a map of the proposed project, split into 4 segments: yellow, blue, green, and orange. The segments are defined to better describe the proposed improvements within each section of the project. The yellow segment goes from Old Montgomery Road to the Panorama Village city limits. The blue segment includes FM 830 within the Panorama Village city limits. The green segment is along FM 830 at the I-45 interchange. Please note that there are no proposed improvements as part of this project within the green segment. The last segment is the orange segment, which includes FM 830 from I-45 to State Highway 75. We'll now discuss each segment in further detail. Shown here are the proposed typical sections for Alternative A and Alternative B within the yellow segment from Old Montgomery Road to the Panorama Village city limits. Both build alternatives would require 30 feet of additional right-of-way in this segment, which would be needed to accommodate proposed improvements, including roadway expansion, pedestrian facilities, drainage, and utilities. This would result in a new right-of-way width of 150 feet within this section. The difference between alternatives A and B is related to which side of the roadway the additional right-of-way would be acquired from. The proposed right-of-way dimensions are highlighted with yellow circles on the typical sections. Alternative A, shown at the top of the screen, would require 15 feet of additional right-of-way along each side of the existing FM 830 roadway. No commercial or residential displacements are anticipated. Alternative B, shown at the bottom of the screen, would require 30 feet of additional right-of-way along the south side of the existing FM 830 roadway. The proposed right-of-way is located on the south side to avoid developmental constraints on the north side of the roadway within the yellow segment. As a result, no commercial or residential displacements are anticipated. Alternative B would also require 15 feet of right-of-way on the north side of FM 830, directly in front of the Brabham Middle School to accommodate a right turn bay for westbound traffic. Unlike the yellow segment, the remaining project segments have a single build alternative. Shown here is the typical section for the blue segment, which is located along FM 830 within the Panorama Village city limits. In this section, due to adjacent land use constraints and to avoid impacts to existing development, all improvements would be constructed within the 120 feet of existing right-of-way. As a result, no commercial or residential displacements are anticipated. The green segment is located at the FM 830 and I-45 interchange. The FM 830 bridge over I-45 was widened from 2 to 4 lanes with left turn bays in 2013. The proposed project would widen FM 830 to tie into these existing improvements over I-45. Eastbound and westbound traffic would no longer be required to merge into one travel lane outside of this segment, which would further improve mobility and enhance safety along the corridor. Therefore, no improvements are needed within the green segment. The final segment shown here is the orange segment, which includes FM 830 from I-45 to State Highway 75. 8 to 16 feet of additional right-of-way would be required along the south side of the existing FM 830 right-of-way to accommodate the proposed improvements. The proposed right-of-way dimensions are highlighted with the yellow circle on the typical section. Within this segment, no commercial or residential displacements are anticipated. The project team is identifying and evaluating potential environmental impacts that could occur as a result of constructing the proposed improvements. A traffic noise analysis will be conducted in accordance with state and federal guidelines to determine if the project would result in a traffic noise impact. If there is a traffic noise impact, noise barriers would be analyzed to determine if they are reasonable and feasible. If noise barriers are proposed for the project, a noise workshop would be held for potentially impacted property owners. Other areas that are under review include community impacts, environmental justice, water resources, historic resources, archaeological resources, hazardous materials, air quality, and biological resources. The project would be designed to avoid or minimize impacts to the greatest extent practicable. Once completed, technical reports documenting the analysis and conclusions of these studies will be available for review at a future public involvement event. Studies will also be available for review upon request once completed. Regardless of the build alternative selected, approximately 5.3 acres of additional right-of-way would be required for the proposed project. No residential or commercial displacements are anticipated. TxDOT offers relocation counseling and financial assistance to residences and businesses that are displaced by the acquisition of highway right-of-way in accordance with the Uniform Relocation Assistance and Real Property Acquisition Policies Act of 1970. The proposed project cost is approximately $22 million. The project is anticipated to be funded using a combination of federal and state funds. However, the project is not currently funded. We would like to highlight the estimated project timeline. Look for the green "We Are Here" arrow at the top of your screen. This public meeting is being held to engage with the public and gather input on the proposed project. After the comment period closes, TxDOT will review the comments received and prepare the documentation of the public meeting. The documentation will be posted to the project meeting page approximately 3 months after the close of the comment period. The next steps include preparing environmental technical reports, additional public involvement, and finalizing the design. The proposed letting date and beginning of construction would be subject to the availability of funding. The project team estimates that construction would take approximately 3 years. The project meeting page contains all materials presented in this virtual public meeting, including this presentation, a comment card, and a project fact sheet in both English and Spanish, as well as exhibit boards and the project schematic. The project schematic provides a more in-depth look at the details, such as the left turn bay locations and the proposed right-of-way within the project area. These files are large and may require more time to download than the other project materials. Here's a screenshot of the legend and a portion of the proposed schematics that you can find on the website. These legends are included on each page of the schematics, so you can reference it as you review the schematics. The screenshot on the right shows the colors that fill the proposed design. These colors identify the limits and major aspects of the project. Let's walk through them. The yellow color identifies the main travel lanes on FM 830. Areas in a fuchsia color identify proposed sidewalks, and small areas of gray show proposed raised medians. The screenshot on the left shows the various types of lines that you'll see. Of note are the solid black lines that outline the main lanes, and the thin black dashed lines that indicate existing right-of-way, and lastly, the thick black dashed lines that indicate the proposed right-of-way. TxDOT encourages you to review the materials posted on the project meeting page and to provide written comments. Comments must be submitted online, by email, or mailed and postmarked by Monday, June 13, 2022 to be included in the official documentation of the public meeting. You can submit written comments online by using the online comment form linked on the project meeting page. You may also submit written comments by using the comment card found in the Download section of the virtual public meeting on the project meeting page. You can email the comment card to the email shown on the screen, hou-pio webmail@txdot.gov. Or you can mail the comment card to the address shown on this screen. TxDOT, Houston District, Attention Advanced Project Development Director, P.O. Box 1386, Houston, Texas 77251. Again, responses to comments received during the comment period will be included in the documentation of the public meeting that will be posted on the project meeting page approximately 3 months after the close of the comment period. The project meeting page is www.txdot.gov. Keyword search FM 830 from Old Montgomery. You can also access the project meeting page by scanning the QR code link seen on your screen. Please don't hesitate to contact us with any questions. Please feel free to contact Chance Norman, TxDOT Project Manager at the TxDOT Houston District Office at 713-802-5251 or email chance.norman@txdot.gov with any questions or comments at any time during the project development process. And don't forget to click on these links and follow us on Twitter for ongoing road closures and construction updates on the Houston District Twitter page. You can also keep up with TxDOT news on our Facebook page or follow us on our Instagram page. Thank you for participating in this public meeting. Please remember to submit your comments by Monday, June 13th, 2022.